Front kick. It's important in my geri that you position your hips as far forward as possible. From the proper posture leaning forward, you bend your knee quickly. When bending your kicking knee, do so as if you were executing hizageri, knee kicking, obliquely forward. Here, your supporting leg should be bent. You stretch the supporting leg forward as you bend your knee, and using the power generated, you thrust your hips forward. Your upper body should not lean backward over the ankle of your supporting leg. Notice that at the instant you begin to move, your supporting leg is bent slightly forward. In this manner, you are able to fully use the stretching power of the leg. When kicking, you develop power in your lower abdomen, and then, with the knee joint as your fulcrum, you move as if kicking off the lower part of your leg. Let's look here at the decisive point of a kick where the leg is bent. You execute the kick, producing instantaneous impact without changing the position of your knee. Lowering your knee causes unnecessary motion, which will delay your attack. Now let's look at the change of line of my geri. Here you avoid your opponent's geidan uke, lower block, and execute a kick and step forward without your leg returning, as in keikomi. If you don't bend your knee enough, it's likely to be caught by your opponent. Thus, it's important to bend your knee fully. In kumite, don't kick to a predetermined point as you would in practice, but try to improve your technique so that you become able to find an opening in your opponent's defense. Kick freely based on an instantaneous judgment of the situation. Front kick with front leg. The utility of this technique is that you can reach your objective more quickly due to the nearness of your kicking leg, front leg, to your opponent. Moreover, since your initial movement is small, your kicking leg is positioned in the blind spot of your opponent, and he will have difficulty blocking you. Close the distance between your front and back legs as much as possible, and lower your hips, which should be facing forward. Be sure that you extend your back leg and thrust your hips forward fully. When kicking, it's important that your front arm be placed toward the upper body of your opponent. Position your supporting leg firmly and shift your center of gravity forward. The last part of the kick is executed in the same manner as in my geri. Now, let's look at the method of practicing Kizami Maigeri. First, just the kick. Next, you add Jodanzuki, upper punching, to the kick. When you are able to execute this movement smoothly, you will be able to kick and punch simultaneously. Practice repeatedly, making sure you expand and contract your body, extend your back leg, and thrust your hips forward while paying attention to your hand position. Next, you practice with a partner. Study these points while keeping in mind what we have learned so far. Switch over front kick with front leg. By switching your front leg to the rear, you are simultaneously able to avoid the attack of your opponent and execute Maigeri. This technique is effective when you draw out his attack by closing the distance in order to make him commit himself fully. Here, you use Maigeri as Kizami geri when your attacker is close. The instant your opponent moves, you withdraw your front leg while your back leg comes forward. The instant you switch legs, you have completed preparations to attack. After executing the technique, It's important to immediately move away from your opponent and remain in an alert state, zanshin.